Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, you know what, guys? That was the first time I ever used that intro, man, and I hope you guys like it. Anyway, this is Terry with NSPX TV Paranormal Podcast. How you guys doing on this Sunday? This evening, I got on a company plane. I was just telling these guys, and I flew out to Virginia to I thought it was a small town, but it's a big town now called Fishersville, Virginia. And tonight I am with Brandon, who has a lot of memorabilia back there, and Lyle, and let's see if I can get this name right, Tana Locks. How you guys
Good
doing
job.
this evening?
Good.
Hey, we're doing good, buddy. Thank you for having us.
Hey man, I appreciate you guys, man, accepting my phone call and and wanting to come on the show. I really appreciate it. I'm really trying to reach out to every paranormal investigator I can from across the country before I go across the pond. So I'm going to do everything here before I head over there.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? I think when I first started this, I wanted to do everything Texas. Even though I'm not from Texas, I just wanted to do everything from Texas.
Yes.
So I think I've accomplished that. I've gained a lot of friends and a lot of enemies, but but that's how the world works.
Yeah.
You win some, then you lose some. You know
That's
what I'm
how it
saying?
is, man.
That's the way that's just how it is. But forget about me. Let's talk. It's all about you guys. All right, Lyle and Miss and Tana. You know what? I'm just thinking I'm gonna mess up on that.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hey, let's talk about you guys and your team, man. Just lay it all down to me. What you guys are about.
Man, I tell you, the Twisted Paranormal Society over the last few years has grown into a lot of different things, that's for sure. We started way back in July of 2011. It was just my wife and I and some friends. And, we started doing some investigations around the valley here and going trying to hit some of the hot spots. And, eventually that 6-person team grew to like 15 people, which to those that have that many people on a team, it's kind of like you're running a little mini company.
That's
Too many. Hey, how you doing, Angel? So, over the years, it just kind of, as people left, we just didn't replace. We just let it dwindle down. And now we've got really what we call our core 4.
Yeah.
So you see 3 of the 4. And the other one's not here is Missy. And, 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, Missy lost her husband. So we, we're giving her time, her space, and all that to take care of what she needs to take care of there. We're feeding her a lot of love. And her husband was a big part of us. And it was definitely a big thing that hurt all of us. So, so we're all trying to recoup from it. But that's a little bit on us. Like I said, as we get to talking more, you'll find out more about the entities that we have. Brandon came to us in 2017. He can tell you a little bit about how he came to us.
Well, it was a moonlit night, and I was walking through the cemetery. I'm trying to make it sound more romantic. No, I was a part of another team here locally, and I have met Lyle a couple of times at the gym and at Food Lion, and unbeknownst to, I guess, us, we live literally right next door to each other. And I bounced out of the other team and ran across Lyle, and I came along as a camera hand. What's up, Ronnie?
Hey, Ronnie.
MPI in the house. And just came along as a camera hand and then slowly weaseled my way into the team, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But no, it was a lot of fun. Came across as a camera hand, and I want to thank them because it's been a lot of fun. It's been a very fun ride. But been investigating for a while. I had experience when I was 10 years old, so that kind of got me into the paranormal field.
Mm-hmm.
But just looking back at where we've been since 2017, man, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, when you mean crazy, you mean crazy exciting or crazy crazy?
It's all over the place, man. All of the above.
Oh, got anything?
All the above, my brother.
Lyle.
Papa J. Yes.
Now, you are you and your wife, like you said, you guys are the founder and the owners of Twisted Paranormal.
Yes.
One thing that I know is, as a paranormal investigator, you want to keep that core.
Right.
You know, you want to have your main guys, and you want to have people that are willing to stick with you guys, you know, through thick through thin.
Right.
You know, that wants to hang around for a while. Now, are you guys, the question is, do you guys have an age limit where you guys will and won't allow someone in your team?
Well, I mean, right now, when it comes to members on the team, we've got so much going on when it comes to the filming side now.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, our core team is pretty much set.
Yeah.
You know, we work when we do events. We do not, unless the location restricts age, we do not. Because as long as they're there with the parent and the parent understands and signs the waivers, you know, then we work with those people. We work with those children,
Okay.
you know, and I mean, and it's so fun to watch the youngsters get involved in this because that's our future.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of young ones that really enjoy it and they can take control. And that's kind of like what our event program is about is, you know, we find a nice location. We have a nice core team that we call them the Haunted Nights crew. And basically what we do from there is once people come in, you know, for the events, you know, we do our normal thing of, you know, introducing ourselves, rules, regulations, history of the locations. If we have special guests, they get to, you know, Q&A with special guests. But after that, we break them into teams and they're off to go. We have members of our group with them, but we do not control what goes on. I mean, we control the atmosphere, but we do not take control of the investigation. It's for our customers that come in to let them investigate. We do what we do. I mean, we'll set up little things, and if they want to join in with us, that's fine. But if they want to roam a little bit, go work themselves, do whatever, hey, we love to let them do what they want to do. And it's just a lot of fun. We're getting ready to do one here next weekend at St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, Virginia. Of course, we've got our boys, Mike and Chris from the Ray Chasers are going to be there with us. So, you know, it's always a great time at St. Albans with us and them together. It's always a great crowd.
Wow.
And people just enjoy it.
Okay, cool. Quick shout outs. Memphis Ghost Hunters, how you doing, brother? Say hello to everybody. Torres Paranormal Investigations from South. I mean, hey, when they say South, it can't get no southern than where these guys are at. I mean, these guys are. I mean, they're South Texas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's 120 degrees in the shade down there.
No, thank you.
And the good friends of mine, Kukuri Paranormal from San Antonio. Hey, glad to have you guys on the show tonight, man. Hey,
what up?
Feel free to ask these guys any kind of question that you would like. Angel, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you on the show. Richard, JJ, Ellen. Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. jumping in, man. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get back, man. We did a couple of shout outs. Let's get back.
Awesome.
Hey, man, I'm excited about this one. Man, tell me a little bit about Fishersville, Virginia.
Tell them. Utah.
What am I going to tell them about Fishersville? There's not much to tell. It's still a little town. It used to be like a little, like Lyle said earlier, a little hole in the wall where you just drove through to get from Waynesboro to Stanton. But now we actually have our community hospital, and they just finished building 5 minutes from the house, the Amazon distribution center. So we've taken off, but
and a lot of housing and a lot of housing communities here now.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot of farmland, and now it's a lot of homes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's crazy. Now, is there any historical value in Fishersville, Virginia? Is there anything that the Historical Society put their tag on or anything?
I know Brandon Johnson lives in Fishersville.
Well, you know, the one thing about Fishersville is you're kind of sandwiched. Where we are, we're the central hub. We're hour and some change from Richmond. We're about 3 hours from Washington, D.C. You know, you have Stanton, which is a truly historic location on one side of us. You have Waynesboro, it's another historical location on the other side. So we kind of get we're like the middle of the historical sandwich in the area, if you want to put it that way. But we'll say, and we'll probably talk about this later on, Fishersville may in fact be the site of one of the biggest UFO cases that you probably never heard of.
Absolutely.
And we may be we're not going to give Roswell a run for their money, but we may not be far off that list.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you guys talking about what is? I can't remember what it is. I'll give you guys a little brief, of what I know about that. It landed in that town. What was the name of that town?
Fishersville.
Yeah.
No. It's another town. I can't think of the name of it. Oh, supposedly, the UFO. It was like a shaped like a acorn.
Beehive.
Oh well, it must be another story then.
Well, it's very similar to what Brandon's relating to. Yeah. So, you got Charlottesville, Waynesboro. I don't know. I mean, the sighting for this particular sighting that took place way back in 1964.
Yeah.
It was something that was seen throughout the valley. It just so happened that supposedly this landing site is less than a little over a mile from the house here. We did. I'd heard stories about it way back, but never really paid too much attention to it until we started doing our series that we do now called Hometown Haunts. And hey, Dan. And so it wasn't too long ago, back in April, that one of the younger people that we followed growing up into the paranormal, who started as a teenager or less, he's now a local reporter for one of the local TV stations, and he did a story on it. And we may or may not be doing a story on it for Hometown Haunts. So,
oh wow,
it's coming. I have a feeling.
Nod, wink, wink.
Yeah. So it's 50% complete, maybe 75% complete. Just got 3 people that need to do their interview segments.
1, 2.
Yeah. then we'll be ready. But no, that's what Brandon's relating to. That's one of the big things here that just got brought back to attention.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In other history, we are like in Civil War belt.
Oh, yeah.
Like what 20, 25 miles from here, maybe 30 miles. You got Newmarket Battlefield. That's north of us.
At the Battle of Waynesboro, you had Stanton, which was a breadbasket to both armies during the Civil War, due to the railroad stations. You got Manassas not too far away. You know, you can't throw a stone in the Shenandoah Valley without hitting a Civil War spot. So
Yeah.
we're surrounded by that Revolutionary War. You know,
Yeah.
basically the first part of the the drafting
Yeah.
of America was happening around here.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what, guys? It seems like you you just swarmed with a lot of history.
Yes.
Now
We
when you guys aren't doing your your TV show or your things, do you guys actually go out and investigate those locations?
We haven't done one for a while
It's been a while.
as a team because of our filming commitments and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I mean, we're going to start looking into that a little bit more,
Yeah.
especially for our crew people and stuff like that, so we can just go have fun
Yeah.
and not work all the time when we're doing it. We want to go have fun and enjoy it, which I say, we have such a great crew that we do enjoy the places that we go to and work together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might not
We need to get back to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Angel,
What would you guys tell somebody that wants to do the exact same thing that you guys are doing right now?
as far as
As far as you guys staying busy, you guys, are dealing, just out there with the community. You guys are actually, doing your show, putting on your show. What would you tell somebody who wants to jump in head first with what you guys got going on?
be committed.
Yeah.
Keep plugging away, man.
Yeah,
Keep
keep
plugging
plugging
away.
away and be committed to it and keep pushing. I mean, besides, the things that we do, I mean, Brandon and I, we have L&B Media Productions, and, we've filmed for other people. We're getting ready to do some really, really big film work. We've already done some big film work for some other people.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to jump on board with another series for some great people. That's all I can say.
Wow, man, where do you guys get the time for all this?
And eventually we sleep, believe that or not.
Yeah. Eventually we do sleep. It's just one of those things that we've worked so hard and been committed to it, and the hard work kind of paid off because we did push. We just kept going with it and throwing ourselves out there.
Yeah.
And so it just so happened, that our film work, that the people that we're getting ready to work with, they really enjoy the way we work, how we present things, and they wanted us to come and do the filming for them and be a part of the actual broadcast and all that too. So
That'll be exciting.
that's going to be, that'll probably, I don't know when that'll get announced, but
What's up,
hey,
Sandra?
Hey, Sandra.
but it's not our baby to announce. So, but we'll let when the guys get a chance, we'll let them do it themselves. So,
What was Angel's question?
there wasn't a question here. Do we have a clairvoyant investigator on our team?
Oh.
Right there.
One thing about clairvoyance, there's so many different. I mean,
There are.
clairvoyants aren't. Because when people think about clairvoyance, they think about, okay, I can communicate with the dead, but there's so many different forms, and I mean, everybody's different, man. And I've come to notice that, about different clairvoyants and different people that are gifted, and all that stuff. I've came across some great friends, trying to be great friends that are clairvoyants. I just don't like when they try to read my mind, and try to.
I won't do that. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what I'm saying? Because I try to, especially when I'm on the phone and they say things before I even have a chance to say it. I'm like, dude, stop that. But yeah, I mean, they're fun. I have one on my team also. She's coming into her own. She's a great asset to the team. and I wouldn't. It took me forever to find one.
Right.
And the question is for you, Tana, is why is that?
Why is it hard to find one?
Yeah, why is it the clairvoyants and people with special gifts are always in the shadows? Are they do they don't like to be criticized for who they are and what they are?
Trust.
Well, it's yeah, trust
It's
is
a
a
trust
big
thing.
I myself, I can just speak for me. It's also, well, some of it too is that I'm still building that self-confidence and saying, did I really see that? I don't know. Did I really hear that? Did I really? I'm pretty solid. I mean, Lyle will tell you. I mean, I get back up for what I pick up, but it's even okay. An example would be like for an event. I might be sitting there and seeing things and this and that, but I don't say anything because this is not about me. When we're doing events, this is not about Tana. This is about the guests that are there and doing their thing. So I don't speak up a lot. Yes, trust is one. There's some people that just like me that love having that and love using it, but I don't have to be in the spotlight. That's not what it's about for me.
Yeah.
It's more about, wow, that's, I was able to put a story together or give somebody an answer for something. And, it's more that. So other people that may feel like I do, it's just not about, I'm not going to go and be in this to be in the spotlight.
Right.
So that's what I think.
Well said, my friend. Hi, Kukuri. Hello from San Antonio, Texas. How you guys doing this evening?
We had we did an event in San Antonio way back in 2013.
We did.
At the think about that channel.
The Emily Morgan Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Never been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's right beside, it's a big like Gothic hotel right beside the Alamo.
Oh wow.
It's weird.
It's a triangular shaped building. Served as a hospital way back in the day during the battle, or it's built on the battle grounds of from the Alamo. There was a lot of soldiers that were Mexican soldiers that were buried there.
Considering you guys, stay in that belt, how do you guys feel about, commercial people, property that comes in, buy property that you guys know that has a historical value to it? How do you guys feel about people doing that?
Well, if it's to change the whole purpose of it, and use it more for commercial instead of, the historical value, then, that kind of hurts. We do love, I think the paranormal is part of history. We follow history. And so that kind of hurts locations that way. I don't think we haven't had much of that here in our area. Where corporations have come in and done that or tore buildings down. Now, some buildings in Stanton, Virginia have been torn down, but they needed to be because they were not safe. They were just, so, and Brandon, you actually worked there.
Brandon would probably be a good one on this one.
Yeah.
Well, it goes to show really intentions. What is your intention with this building? Because we are fortunate enough to have some places acknowledge their past. This used to be this used to be this. They may not acknowledge the paranormal aspect of it, but they acknowledge what this building once was. And you need to keep that. You need to keep that, because you'll see what I love to see is, let's say if a restaurant comes into an old building and they used to be something, but if they keep the original sign up, if they keep the original artwork up, that's a link to the past.
Mm-hmm.
And all the time you read about these locations that have this historical value and paranormal value that are just lost. And that's why I think locations and ghost stories are two important things, because they maintain a link to the past that we can easily lose if we quit telling the stories, if you get rid of the buildings. Now, like Lyle said, a lot of buildings have been torn down just because it's not safe. But if you tear them down or you turn it into a Taco Bell or a Burger King just because you can, we understand it is what it is. It's a commercialized world nowadays. The old mom and pop shops are almost zero to none, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But if you maintain that historical aspect, then I think you're doing it in the right intentions. But like Stanton's a big one, because almost all of downtown Stanton is haunted. It's kind of like the Gettysburg. Every square inch of it was something at some point, because something happened in that past to produce ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also to the point where people don't want to acknowledge it because they're afraid of driving away income. Little do they know that there's a big community base that's just based out of paranormal investigation, and how much money you can truly make to refund your building, to restore your building. It's like Tana said, I used to work in an old mental institution in Stanton that was haunted, and it was haunted because it's a very old building. It's had very old structures, which have recently been torn down or are scheduled to be torn down. So you kind of cross that line between, structurally, is it safe versus I don't want anybody going in there just because I don't believe in ghosts. You really see that yin and yang a lot in historical towns.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, we have this problem in Texas, but I'm not for sure if you guys have it in Virginia. The Historical Society has a lot of power here in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They know they can either yay or nay on a very old building or historical site. Do you guys have that problem?
Yes.
Historical societies can be your best friend or your worst nightmare, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I find that a lot.
Stanton's a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's why places like Getty, I always like to use Gettysburg as an example. They've learned to embrace their income. A lot of their income is through the paranormal. You have ghost tours, you have haunted locations. They've learned to know that that's a source of income. And if you leave that market untapped, you're just throwing away money that could go into helping you out in the end.
Yeah.
Exactly. But for some reason here in Texas, money is not the key. Money is not the issue here. Because I guess the way they look at it is, I don't know, man. They're just weird. They're a weird group of people because it seems like if you go in and let's say for an example, Lyle, Brandon, we all come together and we try to purchase a building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that we know it's haunted, but we want to pay a large sum of money to purchase it. Well, the Historical Society will come in and say, no, you can't. But then they're the ones that eventually will come in and buy the building, which is totally weird to me because they're going to use it for the same thing that I'm going to use it for.
Fair, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
One of the weirdest things that came out of COVID, the whole lockdown situation, the only plus side on the paranormal field that came out of COVID was a lot of these locations that really based their money on tourism were closed. They weren't allowing that, but a few locations did open their doors to paranormal investigators as a source of income. Mm-hmm. And some of those locations actually saw what this is and wow, I can benefit from this. This is also a form of tourism. So they kept their doors open to paranormal investigators.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like being a really huge skeptic when you continually close your eyes to that other field. We want the tourists from out of town in the minivans with 1,000 kids that's going to throw stuff everywhere. But the guys that like to hunt, walk in the dark, and talk to walls, they're the freaks. We're not going to let them in.
Exactly.
So it's really walking that fine line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spaghetti warehouse, man. You guys have a spaghetti warehouse in that town or somewhere close to you guys?
We do not, but I'm very interested.
Man, but you know what the weirdest thing, guys? In Texas, no matter if it's in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, El Paso, every spaghetti warehouse is haunted. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. I had somebody reach out to me from the Houston area and was telling me, "Hey, you need to get down here and check out this spaghetti warehouse because it's haunted."
I mean, you had me at spaghetti, so now I'm gonna stay for spaghetti.
Yeah, man.
You know, there were some locations that, one back in 2019, I want to say we went there. That's when we did a film shoot for the Twisted Realm. And it was a location outside of Stanton, Virginia, in Augusta County. And for years and years and years, this place, I can't even remember the date that it was there, but it was before the Civil War, because they had soldiers that actually stayed there. But people would always come up to us and ask us, have you ever investigated this location? Have you ever? You're like, you reach out to them, they don't want to do it, and finally, we had the opportunity to go in and spend a full weekend working this location as part of our Twisted Realm series, season 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Buckhorn Inn. And, and then those particular owners were so excited to see what carried over in from that, what we could tell them about that building.
Mm-hmm.
Because they knew themselves, because it was all in their family. And finally, somebody just stepped up and said, okay, come on and do it. Let's see what we got. Well, it wasn't long after that those people ended up selling it. And it's kind of like, the new owners have done a great job with it, and, recreated, remodeled, did a lot of stuff with it, but they just they're not there for the same. It's back to that thing again where now we're not interested in it.
Wow.
But like Brandon was saying, it's a bed and breakfast. It's all that. If you just throw the little word haunted on it, or just in your talking, the business that comes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Just for people that want to stay in a haunted location overnight, you know? So yeah, it's difficult when you find places like that just don't want to give it a chance. We finally broke into, we found a location in Gettysburg that, the Gettysburg Academy. We went to them, presented to them, they told us the history of the house. They know it's haunted and why they have never, done it or open it to that. But we said, hey, would you like for us to come there and try to, and do one of our haunted nights events there, and let's see how it goes. It was an absolute blast. So much happened that night. It was almost like the spirits wanted to interact with everybody.
They did
in that place. They've been shut up there in that house for so long that they wanted to interact. I mean, before we even got Friday night, the dinner that we were doing, before we even started investigating, they were setting equipment off on their own. You never even had to tell them. It was just happening.
But the owners have embraced it.
Right.
They really
They have now. So we've got a great working relationship with them, and we're going to be returning back there again in October. We're going to do what we do our annual Halloween bash, and
what is it this year?
Haunted stock.
Haunted stock.
I like Woodstock, so it's going to be a Woodstock themed Halloween party. So, but it's 2 nights, and you're going to have the Haunted Nights crew on Friday night, and then Saturday night we have Daryl Marston from Ghost Hunters. Is going to be there with us on Saturday night, and it's going to be a fun time.
Right. Hey, my friend from across the pond. What's up, Virgil from Manchester, England? How you doing today, brother? Appreciate you on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon,
So
this question's for you, brother. You seem like you're the big history buff over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, plantation homes, are they far and few, or are they on every corner?
a lot of farmhouses. When you go the plantation route, you go more towards the Richmond area.
Mm-hmm.
You see them a lot there. Some have embraced the paranormal and they do their thing. Some are just family homes that they just don't want no part of it. You know, they may know the ghosts exist and whatnot, but a lot were torn down after the Civil War, and a lot were also torn down in the early 1900s to make room for more housing. Some have been passed down. So you kind of find some locations that, you know, mostly around our area, it's farmhouses. You see a lot of farmhouses, and some of those are actually haunted. So, but you do find a lot of those towards the Richmond Way. You find a lot of historical buildings. One thing about Virginia, I will say, is if it has as historical significance, they will make a concerted effort to save it the best they can. You know, you got Monticello, which is, you know, Jefferson's home in Charlottesville. You got, you know, a lot of locations around us. So, and yes, they are all haunted. I would love to get in Monticello. And it sounds really cliche saying, well, everywhere around us is haunted. But really it is. There's a lot of history that occurred here, you know, since the founding of the country. And even before then, you look at the Native American aspect of it. I mean, it's steeped in history, but it's rooted in haunts. And that is a damn good thing for a shirt. I'm going to write that down, actually.
There you go. Hey, there you go. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. You just got yourself a little thing there. It's pretty. You know what, man? I kind of the whole history thing. I kind of, you know, relate to you guys on the history in Virginia because it's not so far. It's not so different from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Confederate, the war didn't come this far west, but it did have an impact. But, you know, but we did have, you know, the Mexican and Texas War, you know, which, man, saw a lot of historical value down south. You know, I went to the house where Santa Anna lived while he was pushing across Texas. I actually been to the first house of Texas. Hella haunted, dude. I mean, scared the hell out of me, you know. And it's weird because if you never been to a house that was built back in 1830, 1840, or probably even before then, dude, I've never seen a gun turret before. Where they actually flip down the little door on the window and you can actually shoot. Never seen one of those a day in my life until I went there.
Wow.
Yeah. And what's so crazy about it, guys, is this is and we're going to go back to the historical side, you know, society. This is the first house of Texas. Now, don't you know they would not sign off on that?
Oh,
really?
Nope.
Wow.
You know what they said? The house is not run down enough to get funding to save it.
That's ridiculous.
And that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Wow.
You know, the first house of, man, come on, dude.
Yeah.
And they did not. They denied this lady. They kept denying her. And I think today she's still fighting with them. Since the last time I talked to her.
Wow.
And, you know, and she wanted to, in order to save the property, guys, she wanted to do a massive ghost hunt there.
Yeah.
Where you know, man, hundreds and hundreds of paranormal investigators can come there and, you know, sell their merch, you know, just do what, you know.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, for some reason, that didn't pan out either. I don't know if the powers that be stopped it, because there's a lot of political, I mean, believe it or not, historical society, they're in politics. They're into a lot of stuff down here that's under the door.
Yeah,
of course.
You know what I'm saying? And I just felt sorry for this lady. Dude, she was charging almost $400 to $500 to go investigate that place.
wow.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money compared to some of the other locations that we have here that are a little bit not as far as historical, but a little bit bigger, But yeah, man, it shocked me on how certain individuals can stop something
from happening.
It's just crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, there's like you say, there's so many different areas here, things here that we would love to be able to, but they just go.
Well, the Stanton City Council goes,
nope, can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, you want to talk about
a lot of historical buildings in downtown Waynesboro.
Yeah.
We reached out many years ago. They won't let you do it. They're just not interested in it. And I'm like, really? I mean, we've seen the value of what this can do for, for locations.
Exactly.
And, it is crazy.
And what really makes me upset is, when you get these big, people that into the paranormal and they'll let you in and you go investigate, and they're charging $400, $500, $600. So, most people can't afford that on themselves. Yeah. So they have to get mass quantities of people to join them.
Yeah.
And you know what? And what's so crazy about it, guys? It's not their day. They don't catch any evidence. Right. They're disappointed. They're angry because they spent this large amount of money and they get nothing.
And that's the problem with it, man. And I've said this before. Never base, when it comes to any paranormal investigation at all, never base your expectations on a location on somebody else's experiences.
Yeah.
We may go somewhere and get tons of activity, tons of experiences, and you can go the very next day and get absolutely nothing. Yeah. What's going to happen? Like you said, you're going to be mad. You're going to be upset. This place isn't haunted. The paranormal's not real. It's literally rolling the dice. Paranormal investigating is talking to a wall, and occasionally the wall talks back to you. Exactly. This is how it is.
Exactly.
So I get it. If you're paying that much money to go somewhere and nothing happens, I can see your frustration. But,
that's just a risk you take.
It's really rolling the dice.
Yeah.
That's just a risk you take, man. Me, I am a small-time paranormal investigator. I don't go seeking out and spend a lot of money on going to these places. And that's one thing that my team is always on me about. Why come we don't go to these big places? Why come we don't go to this one? And I'm like, dude, all you have to do is look at your history of other paranormal investigators that have been there and have not been successful in finding anything. Like you say, it's a hit and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? But I am not going to spend that type of money. I'd rather spend $10, put in my tank, go to the country, find, a old school, and, contact the property owner and investigate that. Right there, man, I'm saving $490.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And a lot of it also is like the experience. It's like last year, myself, Lyle, Tana couldn't make it, and our friend Dennis, we all went out to Ohio to the House State Reformatory where they filmed Shawshank. And it was just a journey getting out there and just to experience it. And we were lucky and fortunate enough to have some really cool experiences. But even if nothing did happen, to be in this amazing, location where all this history was, where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption and they've done all this stuff, it was just worth it by itself.
Right.
So I guess there's different ways to look at it, but Yeah, I get it. You don't want to spend all that money to go somewhere and then nothing happened. But if what at our events, we always say there's no such thing as ghost on demand.
Right.
Because if there was, we would charge you a lot more for what you paid tonight, and we would do it every single night.
Exactly. Hey, Brendan, you're the camera tech, right?
That's myself and Lyle, man.
All right. Well, this question goes out to Lyle.
All
Lyle,
right.
both of you guys. And I'm just gonna throw this out there because as as me as a paranormal investigators, and I go out and buy most of the equipment that that we use. So I'm just gonna ask you a question. What century are we in?
I
don't know anymore.
We're in the 21st century, right?
Yeah.
So the question that I have is, why are we still investigating like we're in the 20th century?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Now,
Well, what you got, Lyle?
How are you relating? Are you relating to it as equipment wise?
No, yes, I'm relating as tech-wise. As tech-wise, why are we still in the 20th century and not jumping in tech-wise to the 21st century?
Right. I see a lot of people trying to create new things, trying to take like your normal spirit box to the next level. I think everybody's trying to create that next level toy. Is what they're doing to try to research. I don't see too many people really doing it with cameras anymore like they used to. Back when we first got into it, it was like you find that every little type of camera was being converted, and you're spending $150, $200 for a little camera. Believe it or not, we've been spending the last 2 weeks working in the garage out here, and all these cameras and things that I've had accumulated. And the stuff that's going to go in the trash because it's no good anymore. I mean, it's all created for that time, that moment. But now as you go further into the 21st century, like you're talking about, you can't even use that camera anymore.
Exactly.
And it's like,
that's fair.
So, but you know what? When it comes to investigating now, and I know there's there's people that are here in the chat too that we know. We use a lot of the old techniques now. We've gotten away from a lot of the gadget work and started going back to old techniques and trying to do that. Just the simplest little things, the little cat balls, the what?
Your bell.
Yeah, just a little school bell.
Yeah.
Old little, probably an antique old little school bell. Now, like I say, it's never been rung. But we try to use that when we go in on investigations, and I'll hang it and try to encourage a spirit to be able to, ring the bell. If you can knock on walls or touch people, ring that bell for me. I still haven't had it rung yet. Yeah. But it's one of those things where I stay skeptical when it comes to that because of all the things that I've seen happen and heard, and felt. But yet the little bell interaction won't work. Right. And I'm like, until that bell gets the slightest little ding or ring out of it, I'm going to stay that skeptic for a long time. Right. Until that happens.
We joke and say Lyle hasn't had his bell rung yet.
Well, hey, that's a topic for another story, another day.
What's up, Brian?
Okay, because the reason I ask is because this is a topic that came up on my podcast last night. Okay. Is why it seems like we are, as far as we go as, tech-wise, it seems like whoever's, out there in the universe or these spirits are always 2 or 3 pages ahead of us. We can never, ever catch what we really want to catch because we just don't have the technology to do it yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's say, for instance, we are in chapter 7. Shit, man, they're almost done with chapter 7, moving to chapter 8. So it seems like we could never catch up.
It's kind of been like also my curiosity is we have all this gear all this high tech stuff, motion sensors, REM pods, proximity sensors, and we always explain what it is. Well, if you touch this here, it does this. And my curiosity, do they know? Is it kind of like I heard you the first time? I know what this does. I've seen it before. I've seen people come in here all the time asking questions.
Yeah.
Or is it like every night when the doors close and the day begins, it's a different set? Because I always thought of a haunted location like a bus terminal. Just because somebody may have died there, somebody may have lived there, does not mean that that person is the one that's there. It could be somebody just roaming along. And the minute we throw up that antenna that we're asking questions, they just come flocking at it. And that's why a lot of times you get like somebody like on the spirit box, we've been called dude and bro, like in Civil War locations or Prohibition locations. And like, just call me dude, So it could be anything. I will say one cool thing, if you want to talk about social media and paranormal investigation, is live streams. What we're doing right now, we're live streaming out to people that want to watch. It's the same way with investigations, because now one thing during COVID, everybody wants to do live streams. And I think that's great because you can literally have 2 eyes, 4 eyes, 1 million eyes on this investigation. So if you happen to miss something, you got that entire invisible universe right there to maybe help you out. And it's a way for people to experience the paranormal from the comfort of their own house, of their sofa. So I think in that aspect, that may have helped the paranormal field, because now you have people that are helping you out even if you're by yourself.
Right. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that, Brandon. Let's talk about something that hurts the paranormal field.
Mexican food.
No, what? Man, you say that here, man, in Texas?
Before the investigation, that ruins the EVP sessions.
I can't say that here in Texas, man. You're trying to get me killed. No. Let's talk about these knuckleheads. I'm going to call them knuckleheads in Hollywood. What do you guys think about those knuckleheads in Hollywood that, say they're doing a good thing for the paranormal, man, and they're really not? They're really hurting. They're really hurting us, because we are the guys that are we're on the front lines, of every investigation. Even if we catch something, we don't get paid for it. They get paid millions. They're actually making money off of this. We're not the ones that are up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning editing their story just to get the reviews, the money, and the ratings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think about people that actually do that?
That's touchy.
Yeah, it is touchy. I think we all have our opinions about the different shows that are on.
Yeah.
Some people like certain ones. Some people don't like certain ones. We know who the big dog is. We all know who the big dog is when it comes to this. It's a touchy subject.
It is.
It really is, because some people do it for the right reasons. Some people don't.
Yeah.
And that money talks, so I don't know. I don't really.
I mean, it kind of goes, well.
I mean, we've had the chance to work with, the first season of Destination Fear.
Yeah.
We were able to work with the Destination Fear crew at St. Albans. I don't know if you watched that. Tana and I were on that. It was basically more of Tana's story. So we did get to work with them. That's really our only experience of being a part of a network type thing. And
I will tell you, we both tell you that they are pure heart when it comes to. I mean, they are the real deal. Those kids love what they're doing. Yeah.
But you see the split that just happened. We all know the split.
Yeah.
Right.
That just happened with this whole thing. So it's like, did the dominating force start seeing more of what was happening with this side and didn't want it happening because I'm the dominating force. So it's a touchy subject. It really is when it comes to the production side of it. And I really don't know how to give you a straight up answer on that. I do understand what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
I do understand it. And I agree with you.
We're just friends with some
Yeah,
of them.
we're friends with some of them. It's just, I know I know the whole idea of where you're coming from, and I know what it's leaning towards.
Yeah.
So I do understand that.
Yeah.
And because we have, like I said, we've all seen what happened in the last 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
With that whole segment thing. So, it's a touchy thing.
Yeah, it is. Now, what do you guys? Brandon, this is for you again. I mean, you're the tech. How do you feel about all these new phone apps that are out that's supposed to detect ghosts and all that stuff? Do you guys use that?
There are some that we do use. There are some things on your phone that you can download that are legit. There are some that are strictly for entertainment purposes only. Anything that you can use that if you put it on airplane mode, it's a good indicator that it could be legit because it's not constantly feeding in from internet sources.
Mm-hmm.
I know every phone has a digital recorder, or you can download one in your phone. We've used it. We've gotten some great EVPs just using the digital recorder on our phone. It's the same thing as going out and buying a brand name one. I know the one app that I find myself using a lot is the Necrophonic because it works without having to use the internet or you use it in airplane mode. And we've gotten direct responses with it before. I use it on what I call my dead phone. It's all this service has been shut off on this phone, but it's on there. We've gotten direct responses based on the locations we've been in. We've gotten direct responses to people that we're speaking to or asking to speak to. But there are some out there, I'll say it like the Ghost Radar, where it shows like little blips, kind of like a submarine. That's entertainment purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see a lot of people that make legit paranormal equipment making app versions of their stuff because it's more compact. Would you want to lug around 4 or 5 different cases of gear when you can have it all on your phone? And it makes sense. You may not have your digital recorder, but you have your phone. You may not have your spirit box, but you have your phone. But it can go either way. Everything should be taken with a grain of salt, regardless of what happens.
Right.
But if you can't explain it and there's no service coming in or out, then take it as a personal experience.
Okay, cool. Hey, Lyle.
Yes, sir.
When you guys are out recording, how big is your camera?
I have a Canon XA20. So basically, a camera that's probably like that size. It's not like these monstrous things that you see in production studios.
Probably something like this.
What do you have there? Is that the Sony?
Hell, I don't know. It's I don't know what it is, but
okay. It almost reminds me of like the Sony AX33.
This thing is in the trash. I am throwing this thing away.
Oh, then it's not the Sony AX33.
I am throwing this in the trash, guys. Believe it or not. What's the reason? Huh?
What's the problem? What's happening?
It's the reason why I was talking to Brandon about 21st century technology compared to 20th century technology. I consider this 20th century technology.
Did you buy that from one of the ghost manufacturing companies?
No, I bought this on eBay.
Okay. Did it come from one of those? It's supposedly made to be able to hunt ghosts and all that. And
this is to me, this is 20th century technology. If you guys want this, I will send it to you.
No.
20th century technology, guys.
That's like those cameras I was telling you that I'm throwing in the trash.
Well, you should have threw this one.
I'm doing the same thing too. I mean,
Well, we should have do this one because I don't even use it anymore.
yeah,
I don't use it
I
anymore.
understand. Totally understand. That's
Don't
why I
use
hated when I was cleaning out my cabinet down there, and I saw all those other cameras. I was like, "Holy cow! This is where I started
Yeah.
with
Now-
this stuff."
We do use these.
I have never had those on or used them. But that's the
21st
camera.
century technology, guys. 21st century compared to 20th century cameras that
Right,
they use. With-
right.
I'm gonna let you guys see. You see that hole right there?
Yeah, the camera.
That's your camera.
Right.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we don't use those bulky little cameras anymore. We use these.
Yes.
These bad boys are infrared, 401. I mean 4K. I look like
Okay.
401K.
Wow.
I'm thinking about money. These are 4K infrared glasses. Now these bad boys. Now give me what? How long do you guys usually record? 2-3 hours?
Oh, good lord.
2-3 days.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying for an example.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm talking about for session wise, sessions. I mean, we make, we usually end, we'll start usually 6-7 o'clock in the evening and be done by 1 or 2
Yeah.
in the morning.
Okay. Well,
we do sessions.
so in the meantime, you're switching out SIM cards.
Absolutely.
Okay, I do the same thing with these. But these bad boys give me 3.5 hours of audio and video.
Wow.
And the great thing about these guys, when we're investigating, what is the one thing that you need the most when you're investigating?
Batteries? Or
Your eyes?
I?
Yeah, your hands. Oh, yeah. There you
Gotcha.
go.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm thinking of
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about holding things and
Yeah.
things getting heavy. It's
Also, is when you
yeah.
all right, Brandon, tech guy. This question I got for you. And I ask everybody on my podcast this question.
Oh God. What's up?
Everybody. They always get the wrong answer.
Well, I'll keep the tradition going. What's up?
They get the wrong. Maybe you might get the right answer.
What's up, buddy?
When you're in a haunted location and you hear something, what's the first thing that moves on your body?
It's behind me, usually a little bit down south.
You sure?
No, like when you hear something and
When you hear something, what is the first thing that moves on your body?
technically it's your head. Your head moves to see where that direction came from.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you heard. Yeah.
It would be your head.
Yeah.
Now,
You do see that a lot. Usually, the one thing I will say, like myself and Lyle have trained ourselves to kind of from everything from the stomach up to be as one. So if something happens, we're usually trying to pivot the best we can, but sometimes you lose that contact and you just
exactly. So it's kind of hard to actually teach your body to do that.
Right.
That's why I got rid of the GoPro, because most people thought that the GoPro would be the perfect thing for you guys to see, because you're gonna put it here on your chest. But that do not solve the problem.
No.
It doesn't, because when you move your head, your chest is still there. Your torso is still straight ahead.
Right. And that's
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just with these here, you were able to turn and catch
right.
just that quick.
Mhm.
So anything that's just as quick, you got to be just as quick at whatever do something at you. You got to be just as quick to see it.
Oh,
because
definitely.
It's gone just like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
That's cool.
So we got these, to actually try to counter that.
Right.
And I'm always trying to stay at E. Hey man, to be honest with you guys, me myself trying to catch up. Like you say, these guys are like chapter 5. We're on chapter 5, but they're almost closing in chapter 6. Now
Right.
I want to catch up 3 or 4 pages on them. So eventually I want to catch up and able to be on the same wavelength as these spirits are. So I want to be able to catch up with them. And with these, I think I just jumped a couple of pages ahead, compared to other people who are still using these bulky cameras and stuff. Let me show you guys one more thing here. If you think these are pretty cool.
There was one question on here from Justin Curtis. And what's the file format? You talking about and what we film in? We film in high definition, 1080p, and 4K.
Now, high def.
Mhm.
I can't get you on that one.
That's where the crispness and the clearness comes from. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are. Hey, I like to come hang with you guys. Just
Anytime you want to come to
Virginia, my brother.
Come on and join us, brother.
for
Anytime.
I'm gonna have
you on a film shoot with us.
I'm gonna have to catch the company plane over there and and come hang out with you guys. Now, these here, the one thing, people criticize China for a lot of things.
But the tech is there, boy.
But when their technology
Yeah.
is pretty damn cool, and they put out a lot of good stuff. It might take you 6 months to get it,
Right.
but eventually you get it. These bad boys here, cameras right there, and pretty much the same thing. But these bad boys always record in 4K.
Wow.
Nice.
I don't wear these a lot because I don't want to drop them. Now, I'm not saying that if you drop them, that something's going to happen.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they're sturdy enough to where you can actually drop them and be okay. Now, hey, the audio is just as well. It's just as good as the video.
Wow. Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And these things, believe it or not, man, out of China, it cost me a little over $100.
And that's you need to send me a link to them
for a decent camera these days.
Yeah.
Hey,
look at
a 20th century camera.
Right.
Because I don't know what a 21st century camera looks like.
Right.
Because I've never bought one. But man, we have these, and hey, Lyle, you know what the cool part about it is?
What is it?
You wear glasses, right?
Right.
I can take these to my eye doctor and have my glasses retrofitted to the lenses to these things.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So it's not going to change anything.
That is awesome.
Yeah, these things.
I like that thought. I mean, when we're filming, we try to capture so many different camera angles because it's, you see a lot that's just the same old camera angle all the time. It's just one angle. You just want to have a mix of angles to be able to keep that story flow going. And that's what we do. And I mean, so we've got 2 AX33s, we've got the 1080, we've got the Canon XA20, Brandon's 80D, Canon 80D. Sometimes we've got like little Ghost Pros that the girls would carry.
So we're all carrying.
Trying to capture just about everything, So we've got eyes on a lot of the area that we're in. But those glasses, man, that is, I never even thought about that. And
it will bring you up to date, guys. I'm telling you, it will take you to another level as far as investigating your technology. It'll actually get you in that 21st century level. I'm not saying that you guys aren't in it already, but it would definitely help you guys out.
Is it in night vision?
Night vision too.
Oh wow. Okay.
The black ones are night vision,
Wow.
and it's awesome.
Nice.
That's cool.
Totally
Sounds pretty cool.
awesome. Now, there's a lot. Oh, one more thing. Brandon, do you play any kind of military game? Do you play Call of Duty or anything like that?
I do.
Okay, now you know these 21st century military guys. You know they're all dressed up with fatigue. They got the camera right here, that right there, so you see everything. Same way, brother.
That's awesome, man.
Same freaking way. You got your light right here. Let me see if I can turn this thing on. There's your light.
Wow. That's bright.
Yeah, it's bright. You can adjust it to wherever you want it.
Wow.
And the camera is right here because there's another light. There's a camera right there on top. And same way. 21st century technology, man.
Wow.
And I am trying to push these out as much as I can.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's all right there in your head, man. Everything you need.
Yeah, everything. And dude, and you know what? People ask me how much these things cost, and they're not that expensive.
Makes it even better.
They're really not. These glasses here cost me less than $100.
Wow.
The only ones that were more expensive is the ones from China, which I had to wait 6 months to get.
Wow.
Ooh.
I can believe that.
You know what I'm saying? But everything here we use.
Right.
Have you guys ever heard of a pie genie?
No.
A pie genie is a device. It's a hand. It's like this. It's like this here. It's like this mic. The pie genie is actually sits on it, and you download it to your phone. This thing tracks known and unknown objects. So you can actually leave this thing in wherever location you guys are at, and if it sees or feels something, it's gonna track it.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like the wise cams that you have somewhere that does the 360
okay.
motion and picks up on
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, same way, man. And dude, the only reason why I have not put it out into use yet, because I'm scared. Yeah, I paid so much money for it. I'm scared somebody might steal it.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really have to use this somewhere where I can actually, man, if I need to be, somebody steal it. Hell, I can use these legs and catch them and get them before.
That's right.
I mean, dude, because that thing right there cost me over $100, but it works.
Right.
It really works. I mean, I've everything that I've presented to you guys, I'm hoping it would be 21st century paranormal,
Right.
technology.
Right.
Most
That's what I was
definitely.
going to say. You have moved into the 21st century.
I have to, bro, because I don't want to.
You're getting a head start on 22, man, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want me myself. I just don't want to be left behind.
Right.
I'm just that type of guy. I like to, here's the thing. I cannot afford to Joneses. I can afford to live like the Joneses, but I damn sure want to ride like them. Even if,
I hear you, my brother. I hear you.
but the one thing that I know you guys have in your arsenal that I just recently picked up. Now, this is a 19th century item, and you guys are going to be shocked on this, but it works. Yeah, I mean, it really works.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It
Totally
works.
agree.
I had to super glue it because I sat on it,
Yeah.
but it works, man. You know what? I had to rig it up to where it records hours. I mean, there's ways, because just with that, you only gonna get 3 minutes.
Right.
But we had to rig it up some kind of way to make sure it records with the EVP recorder.
Sure.
Dude, and it's So, oh, God, dude, we were in a cemetery, and I've heard crickets 100 miles away.
See, that would freak me the hell out if I heard like a cricket or something moving. No, that would freak me out.
Yeah, man. But I mean, I think what we have, I think we've been really successful with it. You know, we evolved from the cat balls. We don't use cat balls anymore. Once again, that's a 20th century tech that people use today. And besides, guys, we don't want me myself. I don't want that skeptic that come up to me and tell me, "Hey, a big gust of wind blew that," so the cat ball goes off, or when you open the door, the cat ball goes off. It seems like to me every time that sucker goes off, somebody's telling me it's not paranormal because, oh man, that damn wind over there, or however, So I went and bought some. I don't have any with me, but we've got some nice size baseballs. And those bad boys, it doesn't go off as easy as you think it is. You actually got to put a little effort into it to make it go off.
Sure.
So you actually want these entities. I mean, I'm not saying go out and use all your energy. Just, let's make sure it's truly the way that it is. So when you tap it, just make sure it goes off, man, because you never know about cat balls. We actually have a softball. It's called a big dog ball. It's about this red. And I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the Bugs Bunny Tweety show back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on, Lyle. You guys weren't even born yet. You guys weren't even born yet, man. You look like 90. You look like 90 babies to me.
No, Lord. I wish. Well, that one, yes, probably.
Yeah.
You look like 90s babies to me. But yeah, actually, this ball, when it's touched, it actually talks. It actually says, "What's up, Doc?"
There you go.
Yeah, it's actually in my car, man. It gets on my nerves so bad that and the good thing about it is it's batteries. It's not like those damn cat balls where the minute one goes out, you got to toss it out.
Right.
You go get one of those clock batteries, put it in there, you're good to go. When you're done with it, pull that battery out and flip it. It says, "Hello, Putty Cat." That's all, folks. Some of the stuff, it's crazy. But you know what? It's a cool ball.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the size of a softball, man. And not only do people from that generation, they, because they really hear something like that, they are really attracted to it.
Yeah.
Because it's something that they haven't heard since their childhood. And so they want to hear it again. So they'll touch it again. They'll touch it again. And each time they touch it, something different comes out of it that reminds them of their life.
Yeah.
And man, I'm gonna send you guys the link to that ball, and I want you guys to.
Yeah.
I think it's damn so pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm thinking one of the
for gadgets for our, for events.
Yeah.
I mean, for our clients to be able to use and attendees, different things, because they love the gadgets.
They do.
They do.
So we like to make sure they're able to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That they see.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, I just ordered a new ball. I'm gonna show you guys this one.
What you
And
got,
it's
man?
pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
That.
It's just like a cat ball, but only different is it lights up different colors.
Okay.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it lights up different colors. You got blue, purple, pink, green, orange. Yeah, and man, believe it or not, guys, the biggest place. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. Don't y'all tell nobody.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta promise me.
I promise.
You promise? The biggest place to go shopping for paranormal equipment is Five Below.
Yeah. I've gotten stuff there before to use.
Five
Yeah.
Below is the best place to go to get paranormal equipment, man. I'm telling you, it is cool.
Here lately, I've found myself, at least from my end, trying to use things that's not meant for paranormal investigation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I use
Yeah.
touch sensor lights that are meant for displays. I like to use my son's old toys when he was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Touch sensory stuff because
Yeah.
if you can do all that stuff, you can do this.
Exactly.
But going back to what you said about skeptics, there's going to be people out there that if a full body apparition walked through this wall right now, right in front of me, out the door, there's going to be somebody in the chat saying, well, that was just swamp gas. That's just a hallucination, 3D hologram. That boy's off his rocker. That was nothing. So you're going to find that occasionally. But what makes it really satisfying is when they have a really cool encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a case in point, St. Albans Sanatorium, we were there. I think it was definitely last year. There was a guy that did not believe in the paranormal, but he had one really good experience, and I think it was one of the first sessions, and then he started to cry
Oh,
because
wow.
the encounter he had was so forceful that it's like my whole world just rocked. But yeah, you're gonna have those people. You can see the cat ball rise in the middle of the air and go flying against the wall. I'm like, nah, that's probably wind.
Yeah. Tana, since you are a sensitive, and why do you think people are so skeptic of what's going on after you pass away? Why do you think skeptics believe that once you're gone, you're gone? There's nothing else afterwards.
Oh, why do I think people feel that way? Goodness.
Why do you think people feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think people feel that way?
Oh
Time
man,
Katana, come on.
I think it really.
you might have stumped me, but okay, an example would be my stepdad, who is, and my mom's the complete opposite, but he was or is a retired pastor. Okay, so I think some of it has to do with your beliefs, because he feels that, and nobody's right or wrong in their beliefs. Let me say that first.
Right.
Everybody believes differently. But he believes that we are playing with stuff that we shouldn't be, that, everybody goes here or there and that's it. There is no in between. There's nothing. So nothing gets left behind. We're dealing with negative, demon, whatever you want to call it. So to me, that's it could be on the religious side, what your beliefs are. It could be, gosh, it could be many different things. Maybe, when you lose someone, you don't want to think they're hanging in limbo either.
Right.
You want to believe that they are going to a better place. I mean, I'm a Christian. I believe there is only one that protects me when I go in these places. You can carry all the crystals, everything you want. And I'm not cutting on those that do, because I have some. But I believe that there's a higher power, and that's what protects me.
Okay.
I forgot where I was going with that.
Now, are any of you guys Catholics?
I was raised Catholic.
Okay, how do you feel if you were raised Catholic? How do you feel about what you're doing right now? Because the Catholic Church,
well, let's
played a big part in
when I was young, Yeah, when I was young, I went to Catholic school, kindergarten, first grade, I think. We went to, my mother took us to, it was called St. John's Catholic Church. But in my youth, at that young age, we stopped. So I haven't followed that since I was probably, pre-teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So I follow up, other beliefs. Now I was, baptized as a Catholic into that. And I just know it's more strict religion when it comes to that. And they're not really as open, but, and when it comes to it, I don't know a whole lot about that side because I didn't grow up in that all the way up until now. I'm not a following Catholic now,
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I just, my faith, I believe I'm a Christian, and I've attended many different faiths, Nazarene, Lutheran,
Right.
all these different ones, Baptist,
Cool.
Presbyterian. I've been to all these different, things. So
Man.
many different things.
Oh, don't mention Baptist. Oh my God.
That was my
He's a hybrid.
Boy,
Yeah,
one thing I can tell you, me living in Texas, Southern Baptists, oh my God, dude, are the worst. If they found out that you are investigating the paranormal and you attend their church,
Yeah.
oh, it's a good chance you won't be in that church next week.
You're not going to be allowed to the picnic.
Nope. They're going to run. Yeah.
It is what it is. People say, it's like what she said. Everybody has their coping mechanisms not coping mechanisms, but I guess their style, their ritual. Let's use that term. It's like for us, we say a prayer when we go in, we say a prayer when we come out. We have some that walk off and just ground themselves on the ground, before they go home. Some do the whole sage thing. The paranormal field is about you do you, what makes you feel most comfortable. If you want to say a prayer in your head, if you're not a religious person, that's not a problem. You have your own thing. If you have your crystals, you have, if you believe in going to Sheets at 2:00 in the morning, getting 3 hot dogs, and that's your form of cleansing, then that's your form of cleansing. That's also my form of cleansing. But you really find what's best for you. Don't always cope on what somebody else does.
Exactly.
This is finding your style.
And and the reason I asked that question is because the Catholic Church. I mean, the Catholic Church, man, is they're into everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're into everything. And at one point in time, the Catholic Church would they would denounce it, or they would, I'll say, okay, we got something here. But most of the time they would denounce. Mm-hmm. Okay, but the thing is, the Catholic Church used to send people out like me, Brandon, Lyle, Tom. They used to send us out to go investigate things.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the Warrens, you look at people like that worked with the Catholic Church,
right?
And you can't tell me for a second that there's no believing in paranormal there, because then you have exorcisms if you want to go down that road.
Exactly.
So, there it is.
Hey,
on real quick.
What's up, girl?
I mean, I was brought up Lutheran. Well, the Lutheran follows very closely to Catholic. Very close. Not in everything, but they are very close to the Catholic. So I was brought up in that. Now, I mean, most of those people, I would say the ones that I really knew well were pretty open to that type of thing. But, they're very similar.
Yeah, but these Southern people down here, man, I'm telling you, go to East Texas and tell them that you're a paranormal investigator and you attend their church. You won't be there next week. Hell, you'd be lucky to even have a house.
I think what they're going to do is they'll uproot the church and move the church somewhere else away from
Yeah.
here.
They are what, man? Because Southern Baptist is very, very deep rooted in East Texas, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a church on every corner. I mean, it's crazy. And you know, to be honest with you guys, it's real hard to find a paranormal investigator in East Texas.
Mm.
I mean, we're talking east. I mean, deep East Texas, Nacogdoches, Tyler. Areas where it runs into Arkansas. It's just so hard because the roots are so embedded down there that nobody wants to deal with it.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
there's a lot of stuff that goes on in East Texas. There's a lot of stuff that comes in from Louisiana and it gets itself in East Texas because it's not too far apart. There's a lot of voodoo, a lot of weird stuff that goes on. Period.
I know we got some good friends out Texas in the Panhandle way. My paranormal experience, they do stuff out. I forget exactly where they're from.
They're out of Pampa.
Pampa.
Which is on the opposite
Pampa?
side, but
Yeah.
But
I know Michelle here, she does a lot of stuff out west. So, and it's cool too. I mean, that's really cool too. The regional. It's like up north, they're really big into the paranormal aspect because that's where, a lot of stuff is.
Right.
Down south, they view the paranormal in a different way. If you go out west, it's a different way. It's kind of like TV shows. Up here may love I Love Lucy, but down here it's Happy Days. But across over here it's Smash. So you don't know it's all the kind of the same thing, but it's all different.
And it's like you say, it's all viewed different.
Yeah.
The train's here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you say, everything's the same, but it's just viewed different.
Yeah.
I mean, so I totally dig what you're saying. But all right, guys, hey, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. This is the show where you guys get the opportunity to ask me a question. And if you like, now's your turn.
All right. If two trains are leaving Dallas, one's going this way, and one's going this way. No, I'm just kidding. Right?
Okay, I was going to ask that question.
I'll tell you what, Terry, it's you've been very impressive with your gear and all that stuff. You're showing some old school guys here some news tech, and I really enjoy seeing what you did. Nobody really does that when you go on their podcast. You don't see that kind of stuff, and I liked you doing that.
Yeah.
And I guess if there was any question, my question would be, when are you coming out here?
Yeah.
When you go get on the plane and fly out here to Virginia and come do some work with us?
Well, I am not a big plane guy, but if you guys, hey, what's up, Liverpool, UK? How you doing today?
I thought you said you had the corporate jet.
No, that was the internet. I was talking about the internet.
Oh yeah.
I was talking about the internet. Hey, but you know what, guys? I would love to come out there, and do something with you guys. But like I was telling you, Lyle, I'm still dealing with trauma here with the loss of my wife in March. Yeah. So I'm still dealing with that. I don't know sometimes if I'm coming or going.
I totally understand, brother. We're sending our love your way, man.
Yeah.
Much love and respect.
It's a tough time.
I don't even think my kids will let me out of their sight because they think I might do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? But man, once everything calms down, I try to get life back to semi-normal. I don't think it will ever be back normal after being married to a woman for 32 years.
Yeah.
But only thing I can do is just keep praying and looking for guidance through my kids, and because believe it or not, those are the ones that keep me going right now.
Oh yeah.
I
hear you, man.
So I mean, I'm just taking one day at a time. I mean, at one point in time, guys, I didn't even want to do a podcast.
Oh yeah.
Totally
I didn't want to do anything. But then I realized I like, man, I can't sit on the couch and just cry and just, mourn and grieve, because that's something that my wife probably wouldn't want me to do.
Right.
She want me to get up and move around. So I started doing that slowly. I started moving around. I started doing this. But then, somebody asked me, it's like, hey, man, I really miss your show. I wish you would come back on, because you are a light. You are a beacon of light, which, every time you come on the show, you just glow. And I'm like, well, man, since you put it in like that, I would consider coming back.
Amen.
So once I came back, everybody was like, man, I'm glad to see you, glad to have you back on your show, blah, blah, blah. And I think, I did love shout out to everybody, and when she passed away, man, I was getting shout outs from Washington. Everybody that I had a podcast with came to my aid when they needed me, when I needed them. From paranormal teams in New Jersey, Maine, all the way down to Baja, California, and all the way up to Seattle, Washington.
And so, now you got some homies from Virginia, man.
Yeah, from Virginia. But you know what? You're not the only team that I know that's from Virginia. So have you guys came across anybody else?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We know a lot of teams here in Virginia.
Okay. But the question is, they didn't throw none of that haterade on you guys, did they?
Haterade?
No.
Brandon, you know what I'm talking about.
No hate, no nothing, man.
Oh, that's cool, dude. Because it seems like everybody that I've talked to from Virginia are cool, calm, collected individuals. Right. They know what they're doing, and nothing but love and respect to those guys out there. Right. I came across a team called Virginia Paranormal, VP.
Okay.
And those guys, man, and what's so crazy about it, they're all brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And dude, they are some of the coolest, hippest people I've met. They tried to get me to come out there. They even said, man, I'm tell you just how cheap they are. They wanted to put me on the bus. You know how long it would take for me to get to Virginia on a bus? But you know what? I like, man, I can't do a bus. I can do a train, but I can't do a bus. You take me 5 days to get there. But yeah, man, those guys, you guys, man, nothing but, utmost respect for you guys out there in Virginia, man. I mean, a lot of love. You guys are doing great things, and I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. But enough about you guys. Let's get back to me. Any more questions?
Yeah. How long have you been doing this, Terry?
Believe it or not, man, I've been paranormal investigating 2 years. But just 2 years. And then I've learned so much. But my grandmother was Native American.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and my co-host, which was her daughter, is also part Native American. So she would be my aunt. And she actually, dude, she's in Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah, she had to drive somebody to Virginia.
Wow.
And
my grandma was Native American.
And man, and my grandmother did things, and I've seen things I couldn't explain.
Oh, I bet.
And and I can't explain. But my aunt, who is my co-host, is very gifted. I mean, she's very gifted. She's actually had conversations with my wife, and I'm like, okay. And she was one of the ones that told me to get off my butt and start moving around, because you're not like this. So I kind of took her advice, and did all that. But I've been doing this for 4 years. I've been podcasting for a little bit over a year and a half. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I just want to, talk to people like you guys so I
Man,
can learn.
you a natural, brother, man. You would have
know.
fooled me. You fooled me right now telling me you've only been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Come
how
on.
long you thought I've been doing this?
Come on.
No, I only been investigating 2 years.
And
Believe it or not.
you an old soul, man. You got this down. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you've acquired more in 2 years than a lot of people have in a very long time, my friend.
Yeah, you know what? It's been hard, man. People say that you shouldn't investigate by yourself, but dude, I had to I've been there, done that. I've been investigating by myself. Hi, Melissa.
Hey, baby.
That's our girl. That's our other part of our team there.
That's our Melissa.
That's our
What's
missing.
up, baby?
Well, you said baby. What's going on? It's something I don't know nothing about.
We call each other baby and Hunter all that stuff, but that's our girl. That's our fourth.
That's number 4 of the Twisted Paranormal Society. She's the one that.
Okay. Well, hi, Melissa. Well, you know what? It's good that that you think like that, Brandon. I really appreciate it, man, because I mean, I've got my critics. I've got people that said, man, you have the worst podcast on social media today.
Man,
and I got some out there that say, hey, you're the best, dude. I mean, not the best, but dude, you're up and coming. You're doing great things. Just keep doing what you're doing.
You're doing it, buddy.
And I really appreciate it, guys. I really, really do.
Virgil, let's answer Virgil here. Virgil had a question up there, was talking about some people say, don't fear the dead. It's the living who will harm you. But that isn't always true. When we go into, sometimes when we go into locations, we go in there expecting, to work with spirits. Mm-hmm. And one of our biggest fears when we go in is coming across real humans inside of a haunted location. Mm-hmm. Like squatters, things like that. You never know what's going to happen. So I don't know, Virgil, if that's kind of what you're talking about there. I'm slowly going down and reading all these big questions and things that were on there. So I didn't mean to change the subject there, Terry.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
Virgil's been writing a lot. So I just wanted to make sure we threw something in there.
I do.
Hopefully that's kind of going what you're talking about, Virgil. I know you talked about, one of your friends, you lost a friend there. So, but yeah. You're right, but I think the human effect in a haunted location, coming across a real human that's not a part of you, that's the scariest thing that I think we all fear.
Yeah, that's
when we go into a building like that, because you don't know why they're there. What's the purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
that's
how I relate what he was saying there.
Yeah,
that's crazy because we actually now I don't know, man, guys. Brandon, Lyle, Tana, I don't know about this situation. I'm about to tell you before we get out of here. Okay. We brought a team in, and I know he's listening, Justin. I'm going to bring it up again for the third straight time because I got to have clear, actual facts on what happened to you at this location. Okay. A team came in. We did a joint investigation with a team that came in from San Antonio. Mm-hmm. And the guys the team wanted to go and not investigate, but look at the place where we went the week before, which was an old abandoned nursing home. Mm-hmm. Justin just so happened to be there. I mean, I didn't mean to pick on him. I just asked Justin, can you take the team, just, show them around? And Justin said, yeah. So they went into the building. Mind you, the nursing homes have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 to 5 long wings where there's nothing but rooms.
Sure.
Well, Justin and the team went into a divider. I don't know if a divider where you come into one section and you got room down that way.
Yeah, it's like center hall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a center hall. Well, all of a sudden, guys, this little lady just comes out of the darkness. Just come right out of the shadows.
Nope.
Man, no shoes on, no lights, no nothing. And it scared the hell out of Justin.
I can
Sure.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared the hell out of Justin. And so the Justin and Chad was asking a question. Do you live here? She said, yeah. You know, and the one thing I know about spirits will lie to you. They don't always tell you the truth.
Fair.
They don't always tell you the truth. You know, so Chad asked, "Are there any spirits? Are there any ghosts here?" She said no, and turned around and walked back into the shadows.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Nope.
check this
Nope.
out. They did not see her legs.
Oh.
They saw her head down to her knees, and she just cleared as clear as she came, as clear as she walked back.
Wow.
Now, the thing is, as paranormal investigators, the first thing I'm going to do is, well, me as a black man, if you walk up on me like that anyway, you're going to catch an elbow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna play with you.
I'm right there with you.
I'm not gonna play with you. But the thing is, they should have communicated with her more or touch her just to make sure who she says she is, because ghosts have a tendency to manifest. They have a tendency to just show you whatever they want to see. So technically, this could have been a real apparition. You know what I'm saying? But the thing, but I'm gonna tell you what got me, guys, is when they walked out, the look on Justin's face. The look on Justin's face when he came out of there. He had this look like he's seen something that he's never seen before. He just had that deep stare. No blinking, no nothing. And it caught my attention. And I'm like, hey, Justin, you all right, bro? He said, yeah, I just saw something. I don't know if it was true or not. That's what he explained everything to me. And I'm like, oh, man. And we actually had another investigation at the old Austin State Colony School, which is right up the street. The dude wasn't right the whole night. I'm telling you, man, he was not right the whole night. And
well,
we had,
I was getting ready to, I don't want to tell the whole thing because I don't want to keep people too long, but I'll try to shorten it the best I can. And this has been several years ago. Lyle and I went to an event at the Emily Morgan there in San Antonio. And we were actually going to be working with Mark and Debbie Constantino. Anybody that knew who they were TV personalities. But anyway, we were going to be working with them. Well, we went and we were shown around the hotel, shown the areas that we were going to be able to investigate. Well, when we went in crazy, we went up an elevator, we went to all these places. When we went to the front desk after our tour and asked for the key to these different places, the woman looked at us and said, "You're not allowed in those places." We said, "Wait a minute. We were just shown around and, we're getting ready to do the investigation. We need the key." And Lyle described the guy. She said he was in like way back in the day, old bellhop uniform. And the lady said, she looked at us like we were crazy. She said, "We have nobody that works here that looks like that." We told her about the elevator we went up in. She said, "That is an old service elevator. It doesn't even work."
Oh wow.
I mean, you talk about looking at each other like,
That's an unexplainable
I mean-
experience that we just can't. I mean, Tana, myself, the Constantinos, we all just invest. We didn't go. We went to go check out the areas we were going to be investigating that night, and this young guy was in a red bellboy outfit, Hispanic. He was Hispanic, and he showed us all these places, but he stood off on his own. He stood back.
never really talked.
Never really communicated with anybody, just stood there and watched and let us go walk around. As we needed to go to the next place, he basically would take us to the next. The old service elevator, it was 5 people. We had to squish inside there. And like you said, that elevator doesn't work.
Yeah.
But he took us up to the 14th floor, which used to be the hospital unit of that hotel during the war or back in the day. And, we were doing a piece for My Paranormal Experience.
Yeah.
And the more I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? Wait a minute. I started thinking about the uniforms that the Mexican soldiers wore back during the Battle of Alamo. Darn, if one of their outfits was not it looked like a red bellboy outfit. And it's been known that they would see soldiers walking in the hotel, Hispanic soldiers from the Mexican War or from the Battle of the Alamo. The uniforms they fought in there. They've seen them in the hotel. We didn't know that. And I mean, and it was just one of those things that we just don't
never forget it. Never forget.
That's crazy.
It's lots of stuff, man. So, and Virgil, we're talking about fairies. Now that's UK lore.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about UK lore, but I've heard things about fairies in the UK. I forgot what they call the things over in Ireland.
Yeah.
That they come across, but love to learn a little bit more about that, Virgil. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Virgil, it seemed like you got yourself some new friends.
That's right.
So reach out to these guys. Hey,
please reach out to us.
Yeah.
Friend us. Love to hear from people.
Yeah.
Banshee. There you go, Virgil. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't think of that name, the Banshee.
Yeah, Banshee. Hey guys, tell the world how to get a hold of you guys.
Well, you can about find us anywhere now, right, Brandon?
Yep.
Brandon's our marketing guy. I'm gonna let Brandon tell you.
He does.
So you can follow us. We're all on Facebook. You have Twisted Paranormal Society, which is our team. Hometown Haunt Series, which is one of our shows, and then Haunted Nights Paranormal Events, which is our event company. We're all on Facebook. Haunted Nights is on TikTok. We also have Instagram accounts. If you look on all social media, you'll find us. But if you have a cool location that you want us to come to do an event, please let us know. Tana is in charge of finding the locations. If you have a cool location you want us to come film at, again, let us know. If you have a cool story that we can incorporate to Hometown Haunts, which is one of our flagship shows beyond the Twisted Realm, let us know. I mean, we'd love to showcase everybody else's experiences, and we want to make that part of our experience as well. But we are everywhere.
Tell them about our YouTube, Brandon.
So we are excited that we just launched our new YouTube platform for Hometown Haunts. We are all on a network called Paraflix, but we're also uploading content on our YouTube page. And Hometown Haunts is a new series with the 3 of us, myself, Lyle, and Tana, where we take paranormal investigation skills that we have gathered over all these years of doing this, and we go outside of the haunted locations. We go Bigfoot, we do UFO, cold cases, urban legends. We went on our very first episode was a Bigfoot hunt.
Thank you, Virgil.
And we hooked up with one of our friends that's in charge of a Bigfoot organization here in the Valley, and we went out looking for Sasquatch in one of our local areas. And it was a night of curiosity mixed in with moments of extreme fear. And that episode right now is streaming on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/hometown haunt series, and then please watch The Beast of Elkhorn Lake. The entire episode is right there. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, go find somebody else and then subscribe to them. Please give us a thumbs up and a comment that helps us. We've grown up to 70 plus subscribers in less than a week, which is awesome. And we're building that platform up. But if you get a chance, go check it out. It's worth it. It's a great episode.
There you go, guys. Please go show your love to these people, man. They're doing amazing things. I don't see how they do it within a work week, but they do it. You know what I'm saying? But Lau, Tana, Brandon, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show, man. Showing me a lot of insights on what you guys do over there. I really appreciate it. And if you can do me a big favor, you can send me that big old billboard in the back of you. It will look good on my patio.
On a night.
Yeah, that thing will look good on my patio. I'm telling you. Hey, and what size is that, by the way?
That's a 48-inch wide by 6 foot, I think.
Wow, I don't know if I can get one that big, but
it's one of those collapsible ones.
Oh man, I can put that into a casing and just put it on my wall. I'll do something with it. Don't get me wrong, I'll do something with it. But anyway, guys, hey, I know you guys got a lot of things to do than sit here and talk to me for 2 hours. But hey, Brandon, I appreciate you coming on the show. Lyle, Connor, I appreciate you guys coming on the show. Melissa, hey, trust me, I understand what you're going through, sister. Okay, heads up. Always keep that head up no matter what. You will get through it. Trust me. I'm going down the same road you're going through. So keep that chin up, man, no matter what. No matter what. But guys, appreciate you coming on the show. Hey, feel free to share, like, subscribe, share this with all your friends and everything. You guys have any questions about the equipment, feel free to message me. I'll send you the link to some of this stuff. If you guys want to check it out. I mean, man, what I have here is just a touch of the iceberg. There is so much more, that I've done. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys get out of here, man. Go eat dinner. Brandon, is that coffee you were drinking? Go drink some more coffee.
Yeah, sure. It was coffee. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was coffee. But anyway, guys, hey, like I said, it's been a pleasure. And hopefully,
you're part of our family. We appreciate you.
Well, you know what? Hey, you got my number anytime, man. Anytime you guys want to talk, just call me. You guys want to promote something? You guys want to promote something on a podcast? Just let me know, and we'll set it up.
We'll do, my friend.
No problem with that at all. As Brandon says, I've been doing this for 15 years. And I only been doing this for 2 years, man. And you know what? Like I say, if it wasn't for people like you guys, hey, I wouldn't learn nothing because I'm steady learning as I go. As I talk to you guys, I'm learning, and I appreciate everything that you guys have taught me today. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I might want to go start me a something that you guys got going on. I don't know if I got the time to do it. We'll figure something out. But anyway,
we got you.
We're here to help you, brother.
All right. Hey, you guys have a good night. Hey, guys, this is NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Hey, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Brandon, stay out of trouble. Lyle, stay out of trouble. And Tana, make sure he stays out of trouble. Hey, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Hey, guys, please.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
You guys have a good one.
All right. Bye, buddy.
Bye.